right, guys, top of the morning. Happy April 25th, coming to you feeling alive, excited, and not mad. And the reason why is that my wife and I carpooled today. I drop her off at the Livermore Labs and I come into our Oakland office. Well, after I drop her off and I'm on the highway, I get a phone call. And it's not normal that she calls me at that time. So I'm like, oh, shoot, hey, what's going on? She's like, well, it looks like I'm going to be Ubering to you after work. I said, why? She said, I have the key fob. So she has the key fob, can't turn the car off. And if I did, then obviously I wouldn't be able to start it. So fortunately, I had enough gas to get to the office. So I'm here. My wife has to carpool, or excuse me, Uber to me later. So I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck until probably around 6 o'clock tonight, which is all good. It's all good. It gives me more time to work, more time in the office. And so I could have chose to be frustrated, but at the end of the day, that's not a bad thing, right? So it's all about, how we interpret these things that happen to us. So coming to you guys feeling alive. Now, we're going to have somebody take us out on the field, and that person's going to be Patrick. Patrick, I'm going to have you take us out on the field. You're going to set the tone, set the sentiment, but I think this is more important. I want you to share with everybody, and this is purposeful. This is I am. This is edification of self. I want you to share with the group what you believe to make you such an amazing agent in the market right now. So I'm going to go over to you, Patrick. Set the tone, share, speak about you, my brother, and let's roll. You ready?
Let's go. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Friday. For the sentiment, that this is the motto that I wake up to every morning. I know you guys, some of you guys heard it from me. I say three mantras, right? I am enough exactly as I am. I am ready for the challenges, and I'm ready to win this day. We have to have that attitude. We have to have that guts. And at the end of the day, no one's stopping you but yourself. And what I appreciate about this team and what this, the Keep It Moving meetings that we have is the fact that there's always somebody here that motivates me. It could be Elias, it could be Ashley, it could be Damian, right? And it's that is part of my fuel. And so that said, lean into the team, lean into the squad, but most of all, lean into yourself, because you're your biggest supporter.
I really, really appreciate that. It kind of coincides with my messaging for this morning. But before we get rolling, I want to go to a couple people that are here all the time, that have been students of group coaching, because we have quite a few guests on the line today. If you're a guest on the line, just give me an emoji or a hand up on the screen. Just do something like this or put an emoji. We got Brian from the East Coast. We got Alan, who's here from Oakland. We have Mara, who's up in wine country. We have David. I don't know exactly where you are, but I see some new faces and faces that I've seen in the past. Darrell, you're here in the Bay Area. For people that have been students of group coaching, I want to hear from you what they can expect from this environment. Blessing, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. And Ashley, I want to turn the mic over to you. For our guests, what can they expect out of this environment, and what can they learn in this environment? Blessing, you go first, and then we'll turn it over to Ash.
Well, my favorite thing about this group is the absolute transparency and accountability. This is a team our group that does not lie to you. They're not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to get someone who's going to see where you are and give you the insight to go through it. This is support in a way that has never existed. I've never encountered in this industry that's so competitive. When you say collaboration, like, this is the room that you're going to get it.
Well, I appreciate that at a high level, Blessing. How much I think of you and our relationship and what you've been able to do in your own life and how you contribute here. It means the world to me. Ashley, let's hear from you. What can people expect from this environment? Let's roll.
The word that comes up for me is mind share. You have the best group of people, best group of humans, non-judgmental, supportive. You've got everybody in the chat cheering you on if you're having a bad day, and authenticity. People pour their hearts out here, and then everyone supports. You can do life by yourself, or you can do life in a group of people like this, and you just go a lot further faster when you're with a team like this.
Wow, you could do life alone, or you could do life. What was that last part? Sorry, I thought that was really cool.
You go alone, and you can go fast. If you go with the team, you're going to go far.
Ooh, I love this. I absolutely love it. You guys, we're reading a book right now. And if you have not read this book, I want to encourage everybody. If you're not a part of Intensity, it's okay. I want you to read the book, Psycho-Cybernetics. Now, I was what was I, 18 years old, and I got a job, almost 19 years old, I got a job to work for a technology company in San Diego. And in order to get that job, I had to read 5 books in 30 days, and I had to cut my hair. That was a big deal. I'd been growing my hair since I was 13 years old. I had this long hippie hair. My hair was my identity. No way am I cutting my hair. Well, in 1997, 98, right on the cusp of 98, they offered me $35,000. They were going to pay for my car, which was, I'd never had a brand new car. And then they required me to read 5 books, and they took me suit shopping, right? Here I am, a kid that never had anything. Maybe I'd worn a suit once or twice that was rented for like a quinceañera or something, but like these were my suits that I got fitted for. So I remember cutting my hair, going to get fitted for these dope ass suits. I had 3. And then I had to read these books. Now, mind you, I wasn't a reader at that time. I didn't enjoy reading. I was just a kid. And I remember reading the book Psycho-Cybernetics, written by Maxwell Maltz. And if you've read that book, please raise your hand or give me an emoji on the screen. At the time, I didn't realize how powerful that book was. And I read that book, I understood the book, but I didn't get the messaging until years and years later. And now I'm reading the book again. And I understand the book on a way, way deeper level. And what's powerful about this book, and I don't want to give you a book report, what I want to share with you is that in this book, it talks so much about the self-image and the self-programming. And the reason why I wanted to start out the conversation this way is because the gentleman that wrote the book, Maxwell Maltz, was a plastic surgeon. And you have to think about this. Well, why is a plastic surgeon writing a book about self-development or self-improvement, right? Why was he doing this? Because what he realized as a plastic surgeon, you could come in and you could say, you know what, I don't like the cut of my jaw. I don't like my cheekbones. I don't like the way my nose is. I don't like how my eyes sag, where my eyelids, wherever, all these things. I don't like the wrinkles in my face. And I feel that if I went and got this plastic surgery, that all things would change. That instantly I would start feeling better about myself because I changed the exterior. And through all of his studies and all of these cases and all of these people that he worked with, my question to you, do you think that when these people were healed on the outside, do you think that they became new people? I don't want to ask that question before I go any further. Yes or no? Do you believe those people became new people? And Kelly, you're shaking your head no, and I can see that. Why? Kelly, why? Find that mute button. Let's go.
Honestly, I feel like those insecurities are within, and anything you fix on the exterior is not going to really change anything. That's just my opinion. Plastic surgery, Botox, all that stuff, I'm not into it. That's just me. To each their own. But everybody that I've known that's gone that route and done the plastic surgery and stuff, it doesn't fix anything.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is not a knock on Botox. My wife gets it. My wife has had, a mommy makeover, and she's happy about it. But the purpose of this, and I'm glad that you chimed in, the purpose of this is that he found that oftentimes people needed to do the inner work, right? And we do a lot of inner work in this group. And in order for us to feel so good about ourselves, we have to really look at the image that we have of ourselves, how we have programmed ourselves to think about ourselves in ways that might be negative. And I hear this all the time. People will tell me that they're not good at this or they're not good at that. And oftentimes all we need to do is really evaluate our own systems, our own processing systems, our own software. Some of you right now on this call, and that will see this in the future, are operating on old software that is outdated. You need to look at what you have fed yourself, your own mechanisms, your own software, and it might be time for you to update that software. It may be time for you to repurpose and realign with whatever it is that you want to do in this business. But oftentimes we have this image of ourselves that is old. We have an image of ourselves that we learned. We learned at some time in our past that is no longer existent because that's not the person we are. However, we hang on to that and it's subconscious. And if you guys really think about this business, how we feel and our image of ourselves is going to reflect in our daily actions. It's going to reflect in our daily positivity. It's going to reflect in how we are confident in this game. So we you need to evaluate. If you don't have an image that is an image of yourself that is positive, the light, you see everything, then you guys need to really update your software. You need to find a way to reprogram that allows you to be aligned with the true image of who you are. And like I said, oftentimes, we have things that have happened in the past, or we have things that are subconsciously controlling how we operate now. And until we actually do the deep work, that shit's gonna continue to surface. It's going to continue to surface. And why I'm reminded of all this is because of this book. It is one of the most powerful books that I've ever read, and I want to encourage each of you to dive into the book, Psycho-Cybernetics, because a lot of us need an update. We need to change the software. We need to lean into the new person that we are, the new person that we are evolving into. What are we doing? How are we achieving? How are we speaking our own truth? And I promise you, so much of what we do is wrapped in our self-image. So much of what we do. So I want to share that thought and that sentiment with you. If anybody has read that book or has any thoughts on this vein, I would love to hear from you. And look, I didn't even ask for people to raise their hand, but they did. So I love this. So Brandy, thoughts, contributions on this? Blessing, thoughts, contributions on this? You'll go next. So let's go, Brandy.
I just have to say this kind of mindset has drastically changed my life over the last few weeks. Prepping for intensity, I played that book on audio and I actually fell asleep to it. And I woke up in the morning and I had finished the book. But that mindset, it's like updating your software, like that analogy, and deleting what no longer serves you. And like when you are updating your software, you also have to do it on the inside and the outside. Your outside has to reflect that. And just in my own personal life, the drastic changes that I have made over the last few weeks, not only within my personal life, but also my business life, because it all connects. Like when you ask yourself, oh, well, yeah, I want to work with myself. Well, would you? What kind of things are you doing in your personal life that would affect, if you knew that about somebody, for you to choose them? Is your personal life messy to where if somebody were to open and come in your space with so you have like, I don't know, in my mindset, I went, how do I want to see myself and how would I select myself as a mom, as a partner, as an agent, as a friend, and upgrading. Like sometimes you just got to say, okay, we need to stop running off of iOS 11. We're on iOS 16, 7, whatever it is now. Like, let's go. And like, seriously, I made that change. Like I went and bought myself a new phone after 4 years, took an old phone and deleted it. Like, and my analogy for this is you have to unlove your past, whether it's habits, whether it's people, whether it's friends, whether it's actions, whether anything. You have to unlove it and start loving yourself enough to love your future.
I'm gonna pause and let that just sink in for a moment. And you guys can feel it, like and throw an emoji up or comment or whatever, just give me a reaction. You can feel it that she's so connected with this, right? You know when somebody is passionate about their life and about their growth and about their business. You could tell in their actions and you could feel it when they speak, right? I love what you just said, Brandy, and I'm so excited about where you are and the journey that you are on and all the challenges that you have fought through. That I think that was really, really powerful. Before I share any more sentiment, I'm going to go over to Blessing. Blessing, what's your thoughts, contributions on this topic?
I almost don't want to say anything after Brandy just gave us all those gems, but she's so right. And one of the things that, as you were talking, from the book and even from Limitless, I feel like there is this trend, whether it is orchestrated that you are doing with the group, or this is just how things are unfolding for me, but confronting those limited beliefs, confronting the stories and the excuses that we're holding on to, because every single thing that we tell ourselves, we hear excuses and we think that they're negative, but if we've said it over and over and over again and we are relating to it, it's now comfortable. Like that's now our identity. What about these stories are we telling ourselves that we can't let go of? because if we're not willing to let go of it, it's filling something in us. So until you confront yourself, you're not going to be able to move beyond that, because one of the best things that I heard in the book, and just again over and over again, is you cannot rise above the standards that you have for yourself. If you do not see yourself as successful, it doesn't matter how much activity you force through, you're not going to be able to be successful. You're not going to be the millionaire if you think that you're still in the poorhouse. Whatever you believe, that is your ceiling that you've put on yourself. And the key thing is you've put it on yourself. There is no one ultimately, if you take a step back, rest, and really analyze what you're doing, no one has told you no. You told yourself no. You told yourself this is the box that you can sit in. You believed it. You sat there. And until you get up and do the work and actually move past it, you will sit in that box. The other thing is you cannot outrun those stories. Picking up and moving to a new place, changing careers, you're still taking all of those bad habits, all of those excuses, and you will run to that plateau, to that ceiling in every industry and get stuck. You are the consistent theme in being stuck. So until you face that and you do the work to unlove those bad behaviors and love where you're going, you're going to be sitting there. I think those are all the points that I wrote down, but it's
Blessing.
awareness is absolutely amazing.
And I want you guys to go back to our Wednesday session. And if you weren't there, we had people really reflect on what the next 5 years is going to look like, and who are they becoming, and what are their actions, and how would they be a walking embodiment of who they see that person as in 5 years. And some of us, like Brandy was saying with the software, some of us have some old bullshit ass DOS system that doesn't even work anymore, but we're still trying to operate on it, right? We're still trying to say, oh, yeah, just I'm not consistent. I'm still working on my systems. I don't have discipline. What like if you're conscious of that, then I was a man at one time in my life that did not have discipline until I updated my software, became a man of discipline, became a man of purpose, and then all things changed in my life. But I had to update and I had to upgrade. And so I really, really appreciate your stance on this, Blessing. Let's go, Christina, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation. Let's go, Christina. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so I think on the same thought, I feel like we focus on all the exterior stuff, like you guys said, the habits, the excuses and everything. But I think if we even take that back a little and think about like our brain, how powerful it is, and how it's also a muscle. Like if we allow those intrusive thoughts and don't work to push them out, they're just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And this applies to like your self-image, your relationships, like trust, business. So I feel that until we can get those thoughts gone, and it's going to take consistency every day, how can we really look at ourselves in the way that we want to be? And so it's just like you work out your body. I think that everyone should spend time, and like when you feel yourself thinking like, oh well, I don't have this, or I need this, I need that, it's like, well, don't just like think those negative thoughts. What are you going to do to overcome that and move in that direction? Just like you work out your body, work out your brain. That's it.
Christina, I really appreciate this. Samira, you had chimed in the chat below. I want to encourage you to grab the mic and share. You put something in the chat below, and no shots fired at all. But I want to hear your thoughts and your contribution, because I did have a meeting with Samira yesterday. Samira, you want to give your vantage point of what prompted you to put that in the chat? I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, just everything that Blessing was saying, I was just like, yes, that's me. Because to your point, like we had a coaching call yesterday, and everything you told me was like I mentioned it too. Like I felt like I was just putting myself, I was just getting my putting myself in my own way, and I wasn't really like going anywhere, and I wasn't even aiming at something. I was just like kind of aiming and shooting for whatever I would think was gonna come my way. And so after we had a call, and you told me like envision yourself in 5 years, I started using ChatGPT, and then I just started like going through this rabbit hole of like all the things I have to do. But at the end of the day, it came down to like I can do all these action items, but discipline is what's going to take me there. Right.
I'm so glad that you said that. And I'm going to share this quote with you. You may have heard it before. And if you haven't, remember this. And it's very, very simple. And it states that excuses make today easier and tomorrow harder. Discipline makes today harder, but tomorrow easier. Like, listen to that message one more time. Excuses make today easier and tomorrow harder. It's easy to make an excuse right now. And you make excuse after excuse after excuse. And then 3 years later, 1 year later, where's your business? Where's your bank account, right? It's easy to make an excuse of why I'm not going to go to the gym. Oh, those weights are hard. That stair stepper fucking kicks my ass. Of course it does. But what does your body look like, and how do you feel 3 years down the road, 1 year down the road, 6 months down the road, because you made an excuse after excuse not to work out? Discipline makes today harder, but tomorrow easier. I think that's one of my favorite quotes. Brandy, you threw your hand up again. Was that an old hand, or am I seeing a new hand from you?
No, I just have a lot to say on this sentiment.
Okay, all right. You guys,
I
could
just-
you put Brandy going again? Okay,
Don't vote me out. Don't vote me out. All you guys voting me out on my glasses.
No, we're good. Go ahead.
Another thing I just want to make a point on, and I only say this because just like you, I will never tell somebody advice or anything that I haven't already done myself. So I just want to say, doing the inner work and up also contributes to how you're presenting yourself on the outside. So if you are showing up and your workspace is a mess, not in those clothes, you're, just half-assing it, that is how every walk of your life will be. That is why your inner work is only taking you so far. You can think that you're disciplined. You can think that you're consistent. You can write down your list of habits. But if you don't feel like the best version of yourself in that moment, you will only put out that half-ass version. So that means getting up and putting on what you like to wear, putting on your stunner shades and feeling like you're setting on the world for the moment. And I only say this because a couple weeks ago, I had a turning point and I went, you know what? We need to start wearing them stunner shades all the time. Yes. And I did a lot of actionable actions that drastically has changed my life. Like, I took control. So, I mean,
Everyone, throw them
like
on.
it's a habit. Just
Throw them
saying.
on. Throw them on if you got them, all right? Let's go. Let's go. I love the sentiment, you guys. Great job, Brandy. I appreciate your contributions. Let's roll. I got some things I want to share with you guys. And hopefully, if you're a guest thus far, you're kind of getting a sense of our energy, our flow, and our dynamics here in Keep It Moving group coaching. And so thank you for being here thus far. My hope is that you're gaining something from it already. And I'm going to go to this really quick. I'm going to share this with everybody. Boom, bam. I want you to ask a question. In a second, I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms. What would your life look like if you consistently acted in limitless belief, limitless motivation, and limitless methods? And the reason why I ask this comes directly from the book that we read, Limitless. But what would your life look like? Right? What would your life look like if you lived and you consistently acted from limitless beliefs about who you are, what you can achieve? Listen, you guys, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't have all the answers. I came into this business new in 2017. I joined forces with Kenny in 2020. I didn't know you. I didn't speak on any stages. I didn't have anything that I have now. But all I knew is if I'm consistent enough every single day and I show up, great things are going to happen. And great things are happening, and they will continue to happen as a result of me not limiting myself. And so ask yourself that question. What would life look like if I consistently acted from limitless belief, limitless motivation, and limitless methods? And what we're going to do here is, this is another question for you. What's an outdated identity you're ready to release in order to grow? And I don't need an answer from you right now, but I want you to reflect on this. What is one outdated identity you are ready to release in order to grow? People will tell me all the time, I'm not good on camera. The fuck? How many videos have you actually created to even say that you're not good on camera? So you have this outdated identity about yourself that's not even true, but that's how you're operating in the world and that's what you're declaring. There's no truth behind that. Oh, well, I'm not tech savvy. Well, how much time do you understand or spend understanding tech? How much time? I'm not good on the phones. What? How much time have you actually spent in the lab making phone calls to prospects? I'm not good in an open house. Yeah, I never can get leads. How much do you practice your dialogue at an open house for you to even say that? So what we need to do is we need to update our identity and release that in order to grow. I'm that person that's going to practice every single day. I'm getting better at my open houses. I'm practicing daily so I show up on camera better. I'm practicing my phone calls so I have a better cadence, right? There's outdated identities that you guys need to release in order to grow to the next version of who you are and who you are becoming. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend 15 minutes on this. We're going to put you guys in breakout rooms, and the breakout rooms are going to ask this question to you. Each person shares how they would rate themselves in these 3 areas: mindset, right? How I truly am this temple or this fortress. Where do I rank myself on a scale from 1 to 10? Motivation. Where do I rank myself on feeling motivated every single day? And is it motivation enough that is causing me to take consistent action? And then lastly, my methods, my systems. Where would I rank myself? And where are you the strongest? I want you guys to talk amongst your group. Where are you the strongest? And where do you need a breakthrough? And for the area that you are falling in the, or is it you're in the lowest number, what's one small move that you can make this week to level up in that lowest area? Right? And I want you guys to reflect in your breakout rooms. And so feel free to take a picture of this, snap this, memorize this, write this down, because in just a moment, I'm going to put you guys in your breakout sessions. So let you guys have that for a second so you guys can have it. And then everyone has a voice in the breakout rooms. Everyone has a contribution. Everyone has a voice. I want you guys to get involved in this conversation. So we have 41 people in the room right now. I'm going to go to breakout rooms, and I'm going to create 8 breakout rooms right now. And I'll do 7 breakout rooms. Let's see what I have here. Let me let Miranda in. Let me close this really quick. All right, cool. So Miranda's back in the room. I'm going to go ahead and put everybody into a breakout room. Now, if you're not here and you are not present and you're just here on idle and I don't see you in a breakout room, I'm just going to kick you out. So I love you, but you're not going to be in the room for the rest of the day. So I'm going to create this. All right, cool. I'm going to open all rooms. Answer those questions, categorize yourself. We're going to come back and talk about it. And we're going to talk about what action you're going to take to improve that lowest number. You guys ready? All right, cool. Let's roll. Let's roll, you guys. So let's hear from, let's get a representative from each group. Who wants to speak first? We can go out of turn. I don't care. There's no great stuff in the breakout room. Okay, cool. Who wants to share?
You are representing us.
Ooh, okay, Samiri, let's roll.
Okay. So yeah, our team was really nice and really good. Well, so Kelly said that her mindset is at a 9 and motivation 8 and method 7. While Lisa, do I tell everybody's rate?
No, that's cool. I don't need everybody's. Let's but I do
overall,
appreciate the update. Yeah. So like, what did you hear from your group first off? You know, share like a consensus from the group, and then I want you to talk to us through your numbers.
Well, so what I noticed in our team, it's just that there's some of us that have really good motivation and mindset, but where the method or like the systems, there's still like areas of improvement that we can work on, and vice versa. Like people that probably had some methods or stronger rates in their methods, their mindset was a little more like lower rated. But we all agreed that just being in this team was also kind of like feeding us and feeding our mindset and our motivation. Yeah.
Awesome. Samiri, what was the highest category for you and what was the lowest category?
My highest category, I didn't even go. My highest category was, or I would say it probably is motivation.
Okay.
It's probably like an 8. My mindset's probably a 6, and my method's also a 6.
Okay. All right. So there's probably, and thank you for sharing, I appreciate it. There's probably people on this call right now, and people that will see this in the future, that say, I need to work on my systems, or there's a process, or the CRM, or whatever it is, right? We declare something. Oh, I'm going to work on that. If you declare that I truly need to work on something, let's just take a CRM for an example. It is not enough to say, I need to work on it. How fucking long are you getting ready to work on your systems? What we need to do is we need to create this tension, this pressure, this deadline, this commitment. If I know the number one thing that I need to do is generate leads for my business, but I have no operational efficiencies that support the business that I'm going out there working my ass to get, then I need to buckle down and say, I'm gonna master this thing by this date. I need to have a fourth quarter mentality. I need to put pressure and tension. Stop saying that, oh, I'm gonna work on that. By when? By when are you going to work on that? Oh, I'm gonna put my systems together. I'm gonna get organized. By when? By when? Pressure, commitments, deadlines, tension. You need to apply that on yourself. I can't be the person that applies pressure to all the people in my environment. I will. You know I will. But you need to set some deadlines and commitments for yourself that are going to create that pressure for you to be able to hit deadlines, to be able to move your life and business forward. Patrick, what do we got?
Yes, sir. So the group, I think our biggest challenge with motivation, and something that I wanted to share to the group. My personal rating for motivation and mindset is 10. I feel like I'm unbreakable with my mindset right now, especially from all the experiences and pains that we all went through. I feel like, pressure creates diamond, right? But with the motivation aspect, I shared to the group that, one thing we gotta remember is, even though we know we need to be better, we gotta keep kudos to ourselves because we gotten better. We gotta analyze where we're at right now and, give ourselves props to that. And that's how I stay motivated every single day, because I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm happy to that I'm scaling what I'm scaling right now. And, the common denominator to the group as well is that we all know that we need to improve our methods every single time. It's never going to be a 10, and that's the mindset to have. And I like what Chris said, basically we're bosses, right? We're not minimum wage workers. And that's the hardest task, is that we got to keep our schedule, keep the schedule need to be kept. And, in order to improve, we really got to burn our boats, because there's no looking back in this.
Patrick, and maybe you said it, maybe I didn't catch it. If you were to declare one small thing that can make this weak level at the lowest area better, what's one small move that you can make this week to level up in your lowest area? Apologize, I didn't read that correctly. What is that one thing? What is that one action, since we're on Action Friday? Let's roll.
Stop saying the word try and just do.
I'm not going to try to be successful, you guys. I'm not trying to make a name for myself. I'm fucking making a name for myself. There's no trying. I love that, Patrick. Next group, who wants to represent? Go. Anybody, raise your hand, grab the mic. Let's hear. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has a contribution. Let's roll. Who's got me? And don't leave me hanging. Let's go, Brian. Brian is a guest from the East Coast. Brian, what do you got, my man? What did you hear from your group? And then let's talk about your own numbers.
Yeah, so just to coincide with Samiri, we noticed that people that were high or low in mindset and motivation were the opposite in methods. And that was exactly what happened with, I'm terrible at names.
Okay.
I can't find it.
Don't worry about the name, Brian.
Okay.
Just continue cruising on.
Yeah. So he was very he needed to work more on his mindset and motivation, but his methods were at a 10. And I was the complete opposite. I felt like my mindset and motivation have been at an all-time mental high right now, but my methods, because of all the changes in my career that have happened in the last year and a half, have my methods kind of like a little shaky, because I need to focus and create and change my systems 3 times in the last year and a half and stuff. So I need to sit down. Something that I can do this week is like, I need to sit down and just create a plan of action to better improve how I want to carry my business. And
all right. So the one small thing for you is to plan. And so here's what I want you to do. We have 11 minutes. I want you to, by the end of this call, I want you to put on your calendar when you're going to sit in and do it. 1 hour, 2 hours, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, listen to some music, have some coffee, listen to a record, whatever that time frame is going to be. You have 11 minutes to put that on the calendar and to put it in the chat when you've committed to doing that. Good?
I'll do that right now.
All right. Another group that's not been represented yet. Who's got to speak? And thank you, Brian, for grabbing the mic and being a guest and delivering your truth, my man. I appreciate it. Who else? And don't leave me hanging. You guys got a lot of groups on here. Who else? Let's go, Cho.
I'll go.
So we'll go Cho and we'll go Alan.
So our group methods were the lowest thing on ours. So I think we all kind of struggled with that. As far as myself, motivation was about an 8 and mindset was a 7. And as far as what I wanted to work on, I just wanted to do more checklists. Just whatever task I have to do, I do a lot better with checklists because I can be pretty forgetful sometimes. So.
Man, I absolutely love this. And so first off, I didn't know that you were a baller. I didn't know you played basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Right, look at that. So here's the thing. Your whole life. And so your whole life, you've been trained to work with a certain time frame and a sense of urgency, right? Like we have a choice when we play a game. We have the same goal. We're going to win. That's not a goal to go in there to lose the game. We're going to go in there to win this game. Well, that same mentality of we need to push, we need to work harder, be up. Like we have 10 minutes left in the game. We got this. It's the same thing for you and your business, my man. So when you think about your systems, we have to remember that the systems run our business, but the humans run the system. So when we think about methods, that is a system. So what we need to do is we need to apply that pressure on ourselves, that fourth quarter mentality to say, you know what, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to work through this checklist. And I don't care what is happening around me. I'm going to get this checklist done because that creates that tension and that pressure. So have that mentality that you have out on the court. And I promise you, if you take that same mentality to this, you'll find yourself working in a shorter time frame, creating that pressure. So Cho, I appreciate your contribution. Good to see you. I think we should probably put a game together because I know there's some people on this team that are ballers or they think they're ballers, but I'd love to put the team to the test. And I'll be there on the sidelines cheering you guys on, okay? Because I have 0 shot. Okay?
Hey, we all need a coach, right?
That's right, Joe. Let's go, Alan. Alan, what do you got for us, big dog?
What's going on, y'all? I want to say our biggest strong suit in our team was motivation. I feel like everybody was motivated. It has a reason to be, had a great motivation spill. But our weakest point was method. I feel like in our group, not everybody had the method or know the method on how to get there, you know?
And then for you, my man, if you could work on one, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. For you, for your lowest number, what's one thing you could do this week to improve that?
Keep learning. Be a sponge and learn the method from you, obviously. And I'm just here to learn. So whatever I need to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
You guys, I met Alan yesterday afternoon. Right? Here he is 1 day later, hasn't even got his DRE number, and he's here ready to do the work. This dude has an incredible story, incredible past. You know, he's been through tons of stuff just like you, but he's ready to fire on all cylinders. So, Alan, I appreciate your contribution. Let's go Deep Bledsoe. Deep Bledsoe representing from your group. What do we got? And I got that same shirt. I remember you gave it to me.
Yeah, buddy. That's a classic. But no, it was good perspective because I was in a group with a lot of newcomers. And the commonality was the methods were missing. And it's funny how long you can say that when you're in this game. You just got to do it and put in the reps and the methods will come. But where I felt like I personally was lacking is on the mindset level, because it's always a struggle to stay even. Don't get too high when things are going good. Don't get too low when they're not. You just got to keep the motivation in mind and stick to the methods that you've built over time. And then that mindset will settle somewhere in the middle, or it should anyway. And again, it was just interesting. Like Jacob was saying, it's been this amount of time since I've had a closing, and I could hear, it's almost that panic mode. And I'm like, just keep doing what you do. Like, you're doing the work. And I don't want to, I don't want to sound cliche, but at the same time, you work until it works. You just keep working and it's going to work out. And so yeah, on the side of the methods, just keep at it and those methods will come.
Well, I appreciate it, D. Bledsoe. Thank you for sharing always with the fire. I think there's a bigger part of this. All of you have ranked from what I've heard, I've heard motivation at the very, very highest, right? Then most of us are struggling in the methods of, I was just to survey what I've heard thus far. You have to ask yourself, if my motivation is at above an 8, right? Let's say it's Patrick and Patrick is at a 10, ready to walk through a wall. Does my ability to take immediate action from that motivation, is that really visible? Meaning that I might be motivated. I might come to these calls. Yeah, I feel stoked. And then as soon as the screen closes and I'm left to my own devices and I'm by myself, do I have the motivation to take action? Right? The motivation is cool, you guys. Right? I watch stuff. I listen to stuff all the time. That's good. But is it enough? Is it enough for you to take one step forward? How many of you have heard me fucking tell you to get on camera and you feel like I'm motivated in the moment and then you get out of here, I'm not going to do that, right? So you weren't motivated enough to take one step forward. Patrick, you threw your hand up again. What do you got for me?
Yeah, just speaking of action, I want a big shout out to David for taking that action and, showing up to today's meeting, man. And I can't wait to see you grow with the team, brother. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And it is good to see you, David. Let's go around the room and get a couple of key takeaways from people on the call today. Mara Cortez, this is a lot for somebody that has never been in our environment. This is unlike any coaching in the industry. By design, we keep it moving towards our dreams, goals, and visions. So Mara, from your vantage point, give me one key thought and one key takeaway from our time together today.
I think when you said, how long are you going to plan to do it? And that's where I'm at. I just keep planning to move forward and take action. And it's time. I need to shit or get off the pot here.
You know what? I appreciate you. And listen, deadlines, commitments, pressure, intention, right? That pressure, intention is going to force you to do something. Force you to do something. So I appreciate your contribution. Let's go to Stephanie. Stephanie, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today.
I love that everybody here is highly motivated because Elias, that's what you have brought out in all of us. We are all extremely motivated, but I agree setting the deadlines for everything is crucial. Like I work very well under pressure and sometimes I set my own deadlines for certain things just because I know I'm gonna get it done, right? But for other things, I procrastinate, like the videos and working out, things like that. And I need to set the deadline. So the other day when you told me how many times are you going to work out this week, I said 4. I've done 2. So I need to go get my ass on the elliptical after this call and tomorrow morning as well. And then I'll hit my 4. So I'm getting there. And thank you, Blessing, for holding me accountable.
Let's go. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, you guys, it's important that you guys have sense of motivation, right? But I never want to be motivational. I just don't. I don't want to give a motivational speech. That's not my thing. People think that that's what I like to do, but I don't. Like I'm an action guy. I'm an action guy. Like I want to see you guys out there taking that motivation, like, all right, cool. I'm gonna run with that. I don't know all the answers, but just I'm gonna go run with that. So that's what I want. Show me your receipts. Do the imperfect, gritty, consistent, scared work. Do that and all things will change in your life and in your business. I promise you. How do I know? It's market tested. None of this shit is theory. I'm not going to sit here and theoretically tell you how to run a business, how to create momentum, how to create consistent action. I'm not going to be theoretical. This is all market tested, you guys, and I will continue to lead by example and show you what is possible and how my life has changed dramatically in the last few years, and so can yours. So I appreciate all of your contributions, all of your insights, always. You guys make this room an incredible place to be for me 3 times a week, and it's always an honor and it's always a privilege. So for our guests today, thank you for being here, thank you for being present, and thank you for being open-minded enough to be in this space with us. You guys keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and get out there and make this a weekend that matters. Peace.